4 people confirmed dead, cars burnt in Rivers tanker explosion as Governor Fubara promises aid to victims' family. 19 children feared killed by measles complications in Adamawa. Bauchi farmers urge accountability, transparency in government programs. In foreign scene, death toll from Kenya flooding hits 76. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Chiamaka Wafo. Now the news. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has described as very unfortunate the fire incident caused by a tanker conveying premium motor spirit, otherwise called petrol, which burnt motorists and commuters beyond recognition and destroyed a good number of vehicles. The incident occurred between Indorama Gate and Aleto Bridge on the popular and ever-busy LMS section of the East-West Road, now undergoing major reconstruction by the federal government. Here's the report.
4 hours, no fire service. None could come.
Governor Fubara expressed sadness at the Gora site during his visit to the scene of the incident. He was accompanied by the State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, and the State Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources, Uche Chukwuafo, on Saturday morning. Fubara explained that he got a call from the Managing Director of Indorama Petrochemical and Fertilizer Company Limited in Eleme local government area, informing him of the incident. He added that he immediately routed a call to security agencies, instructing them to take charge of the security of the area to avoid an escalation of the situation.
From what we are seeing this morning, it wasn't a very, very pleasant case. We recorded, from what I'm saying, a huge numbers of vehicles being destroyed and souls lost.
Governor Fubara explained that he had already requested the relevant government agencies to provide him a detailed account of their findings to enable the state government to take appropriate decisions and actions to significantly remedy the situation and reduce its negative impact on the affected people.
But I've already asked the agency, special agency, to give us a full brief so that we can come into the situation fully by seeing how much we can support the families that are bereaved and how we can cushion the effect of the losses, which I believe is no fault of a good number of them.
Meanwhile, the police command in the state says 4 people died and over 70 vehicles were burned in Friday's fuel tanker explosion. SP Grace Iringe Koko, the spokesman of the command, on Saturday said the tragedy occurred following a collision between a heavy-duty truck and a petrol-laden tanker. And the souls of the departed, rest in peace. Now, the Katsina State Police Command says it has arrested some suspected kidnappers, arsonists, rapists, and motorcycle snatchers terrorizing residents in the state. The police command said it is also investigating some people in connection with culpable homicide. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Among the suspected kidnappers are Usman Rabiu of Ofar Marusa in Katsina Metropolis and Shamsu Shuaibu from Doro Town of Bindawa local government area, who were both arrested in connection with the abduction of a 5-year-old boy. Though the victim was rescued unhurt, the police are investigating the duo with a view to having them prosecuted by a court of competent jurisdiction.
During the course of investigation, the suspect confessed in the commission of the offense and further mentioned one Aliyu would see now at large as his accomplice. Our investigation is still ongoing.
In its continued onslaught on criminals, the command also arrested a notorious rapist, one Abdullahi Barau from Jibia local government, who was alleged to have carnal knowledge of his 2-year-old niece and a stepdaughter. Similarly, 2 suspected rapists are currently being investigated for raping a minor at Tandama village in Danja local government area of Katsina State. This is beside other rape cases being investigated by the command, according to the spokesman ASP Abubakar Sadiq.
The suspect, Malang Adamu, criminally lured his younger brother, named Muthel, age 16 years old, of the same address into an uncompleted building belonging to the mother of the victim, where he criminally had unlawful carnal knowledge of the girl and was caught in the act by the victim's mother.
Beyond that, the Katsina Police Command says it has burst a motorcycle snatching syndicate and arrested 3 members, in addition to a successful recovery of some exhibits from the gang. 2 members of the syndicate are from Bauchi, while the other one is from Plateau State, according to the police command.
The modus operandi of this notorious syndicate is that they will stop an unsuspecting commercial motorcycle rider and ask him to take them to a particular point within Bakuri local government area, where on their way they will bring out a Maltina, as you can see here. Meanwhile, they have already dropped the drink and offered the victim the drink while soliciting for his assistance as they are trying to fix their vehicle. Either it has broken down or they want to see somebody. So immediately the suspect consumed the content of the drink. The suspect will have no option than to fall asleep, and they will make away with it.
The Katsina Police spokesman asked residents to be wary about people they entrust and receive as guests, calling on them to always provide the police information that is relevant in the fight against crime and criminality. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Still staying with security, Nigerian Army troops deployed for counter-terrorism operations in the northwest region in conjunction with a team from the Department of State Services, DSS, have intercepted an armed terrorist group which was on rampage to wreak havoc in Modechi General Area of Isa Local Government Area of Sokoto State. The joint operation led to the elimination of some of the terrorists and the recovery of a significant cache of arms. The terrorists, who were in transit with several motorbikes, were met with strong resistance from the security forces, leading to the elimination of 7 of them. The troops also recovered 7 AK-47 rifles, 4 motorbikes, 2 mobile phones, and 4 machetes. We go to Lagos, where residents of Adebari Ilubu CDA in Orilagege LCDA of the state have expressed dissatisfaction over the ongoing construction of drainage channels, saying the drainage may not be able to address flood risk and damage as the rainy season looms. Here's the report.
Adebari community is one of the areas in Lagos affected by a recent flood following a heavy downpour in the state. This is the case with Adebari Ilobu in Orile-Agege LCDA, visited by Trust TV, where there is an ongoing construction of drainage channels. Trust TV findings show that the project, which began in 2022 to be completed within 12 months, is still ongoing, and only one side of the street have been excavated. Further investigation revealed that the construction has left the road impassable, leaving the residents to face untold hardship. Narrating their ordeals in the community, he said the residents of the community are complaining that the size of the drainage is too small to contain the level of flood when it rains.
When they start, that this drainage is too low for our water here, but this, they said, this is what they send them to do. And when you see, even we ask to cover the drainage, they said they cannot cover it because it's too narrow. And I don't know the measurement they want, that it need covering. Because the one that the councils are doing is not even open to this size, and they cover it. And as they open like this, that is how we allow people to carry all the waste onto the gutter when rain is falling. Because when it is covered, they will not get chance to do that. But this They said that is what they sent them to do.
Everybody are finding their way of getting to their house. Even those people that they have vehicle in this street, they were. I could remember the Baale himself, where he used to park his motor, one of his vehicle was vandalized, which I know. He spent almost 450,000 naira to be able to refuse that car. Because of what? I don't know. This project is they're supposed to complete this project over just 12 months. I don't look at it now, getting to 2 years. Why? Only one side drainage. So we are begging the government to come to our aid and come to our rescue.
A resident, Ajoke Alatishe, lamented that whenever there is flood, students won't be able to go to school, calling for the intervention of the government.
All these drainage they are doing, they are spoiling our house. Children, they are enter gutter. Adults, they are enter canal. Everything, they are doing rubbish. They are doing nonsense. All what they are doing is not good at all. Help us tell government, make government help us to come and renovate this for us. It's more than 2 years now. We are going to Alausa, go to everywhere, go more than 3 times. Nothing, the thing is not improved.
Many communities in the state have been experiencing flood disasters, and the blessings that come with the rainfall has always turned out to be a cause in many residents who are often displaced anytime it rains. They call on the state government to come to their rescue.
Over in Plateau State, the Environmental Protection and Sanitation Agency on Saturday demolished what is described as illegal structures within the Jos Bukuru metropolis. The exercise was carried out under the watchful eyes of a security task force that was placed to prevent any breakdown of law and order. General Manager of the agency, Samuel Daripa, said residents and traders had been warned and notified severally on the need to decongest the state for a healthy environment, expressing dismay with the level of compliance by residents. He said henceforth, government will not take it lightly with defaulters. Chairman Joe South and Director General Plateau State Drug and Medical Commodities Management Agency during the exercise also advised residents to key to the administration's drive to reposition the state.
Junction down to where we assess the flow. That's just before by Islamia Junction. There was minimal compliance. Down to Jos South, what we saw in Jos South was in fact something else. Because with this kind of crowd, it shows that people are just adamant to break the law. And going forward from next month, we would make necessary adjustments and plans to ensure that there's a watertight and a very comprehensive planning of total enforcement.
But my observation for today is people don't want to respect law, and this law is for our own good, all of us. The law must be respected. 3 hours in a day cannot reduce anything from you. This sanitation starts from 7 to 10. If you stay from 7 to 10, you are free to pass, and we have a flow passage. But some will come that they are paying 1,000 to move. It's not allowed to pay fine. If you pay fine, you must be there. They must keep you there to face the punishment.
Rains of flies. In early rains like this is already a pointer to cholera and to some other forms of outbreaks. In fact, from what we saw when the demolitions were going on, you could actually see rodents actually escaping. So this even explains why Lassa fever is an issue to us, and we are finding it very difficult to clear it. So honestly, I want to encourage the generality of the public to particularly prioritize sanitation.
Still at the North Central, 4 Chinese men have been arrested by the mining marshals of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, at an illegal mining site where lithium is sold at Karo local government area of Nasarawa State. Spokesman of the NSCDC, Babawale Afolabi, disclosed this in a statement on Saturday. The mining marshal commander, Atta John Onoja, said the minerals in question were seized in line with the provisions of sections 146B of the Minerals and Mining Act 2007. He added The arrest of the Chinese followed their refusal to honor an invitation for questioning. Onaja added that an application would be lodged in court for forfeiture of the impounded lithium minerals, while the proceeds would be remitted to the federal government. According to him, preliminary investigations have unearthed where the minerals were being disposed of without the required license. Moving to health matters, complications from measles is suspected to have killed at least 19 children in Mubi North local government area of Adamawa State. Commissioner for Health Felix Tangwami said on Saturday that more than 200 children in the local government area were already infected. He said the outbreak was reported in Yola on Saturday, leading to a quick mobilization of medics and drugs to affected communities. He assured that children with severe infections would be referred to hospitals. The commissioner said the medical team would move from Mubi to Gombe local government area where another outbreak had been reported. Tangwami blamed the refusal of parents to immunize their children as cause for the outbreak. Still in health, resident doctors at Delta State University Teaching Hospital have commenced a one-week warning strike due to what they termed government's insensitivity to significant issues affecting the provision of optimal patient care and training of resident doctors in Delta State. This, they say, is increasing the mortality rate in the state and needs urgent attention. The president of the Association of Resident Doctors, University of Delta State Teaching Hospital, Harrison Oja, stated this while briefing the press in Asaba. He noted that infrastructure at the teaching hospital is deteriorating and not working optimally. He lamented that the subvention the hospital receives from the government is very poor and needs upgrade for enhanced healthcare delivery in the state. Other issues raised include poor salary structure, which has fueled the number of doctors seeking greener pastures abroad.
So we want the governor to actually see us. We are not against the governor. We are in support of the governor. We want the state to work. We want the state government to have progress in whatever they are doing. However, we don't want the hospital to be left alone, because Deltans, who are poor Deltans, look at that hospital as their last point of health care. If we allow it to die, it means that we want to increase mortality, crude mortality rate in Delta State. And this is what we are fighting against. We are fighting for the Deltans. We are fighting for everyone's people living around Delta, so that we can have better health care and better residency training and welfare package for all health workers in Delta State. This is the reason we declared a one-week strike starting from 26th of April and we're ending on the around the, I think it should be 3rd or so of May.
In Bauchi State, farmers say issues of transparency and accountability in the execution of interventions in some agricultural programs initiated by government at all levels remain a source of concern for them. This they made known to journalists shortly after a stakeholders meeting on the proposed establishment of a special agro-industrial processing zone in the state. Trustees Adamu Imam tells us more.
The farmers were carefully selected from 2 local government areas of Bauchi and Ganjua with the aim of achieving the objectives of the project, which is to boost agricultural activities. Some farmers after the meeting said they are not comfortable with such programs, as similar ones in the past are yet to see the light of the day. We are excited to hear about the development because we reside near the proposed site for the project and we have been farming here for years. However, we are appealing to the government to recruit our youth so that they will be gainfully employed. Among us, the host communities, we will find very educated ones. It is just that farming is our major preoccupation. We are still trying to catch up because even the farming we are talking about is not easy. Sometimes projects like this come with this feeling of it will favor us, but more often than not, the reverse is the case. So I advise the government to be intentional about creating avenues for the small farmers to benefit directly from such programs or agri-palliatives. Stakeholders, on the other hand, advise the teeming farmers to embrace modern ways of processing food crops after harvesting them to ensure safety of their farm produce and to encourage market competitiveness.
So the reason for our coming together here is to sensitize the people, the farmers, the locations, the communities that are going to benefit from this agricultural industrial development zone. So number one, for them to know that the project is coming. Number two, to know what is expected of them and their environment. Especially this time around, we are talking about the environmental impact assessment, because any project has an environmental impact. Therefore, we want to assess what are the negative impact the project is going to cause to the environment. What are the environmental issues that the project will benefit from? So if we discuss them, if there is going to be any problem with the project, we know how to mitigate those kind of problems.
Meanwhile, the State Ministry of Agriculture says the program is a rare opportunity for farmers to embrace, as there are multiple benefits from the proposed agro-industrial processing zone. 2 states will be selected from the Northeast region to benefit from the program. Ademi Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
This is the News Hour on Trust TV. Still to come. Children take over Katsina Parliament. Advocate focus on education, health and security. More news when we return. Please do stay with us.
When I say businessmen, I mean businessmen and women. They are driven by profit motive. But what the government can do, which is also what they've started doing, is to see how they can also come in and be part of that competition.
I mean, the tech sector is so exciting and vibrant, and this is one of those areas where I think Nigeria pulls so much of the investment on the continent of the venture capital because of the vibrance and the dynamism of the Nigerian tech sector.
For me, it's utter selfishness, because if you look at anybody who is against educating a woman, he's not against educating his own daughter. His own daughter, more or less, will be educated in whatever form of education.
We're not talking about election, we're talking about governance and national unity.
The person who took over after me didn't have that courage to look people in authority in the face and say, I won't do. Because most people believe that when they get positions, a favor has been done to them.
You cannot look at somebody's face and know what ideology is in his mind. Good people must join hands to fight evil. The mistake we think is it is only the military should do it. No. Let me tell you a shocking thing. Who are the people funding those guys? Who are the people giving them money? Who are the people giving them logistics to work? People are trading with them.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, it's the News Hour on Trust TV. Now we'll look at some of our top stories. 4 people confirmed dead, 70 cars burnt in Rivers tank explosion as Governor Fubara promises aid to victims' family. We also told you that 19 children feared killed by measles complications in Adamawa. To more news. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, the chairman, Ola Olukoyede, has restructured the administrative outlook of the commission. As part of the restructuring, Olukoyede has appointed Michael Nzekwe as his chief of staff. He has also appointed zonal director of the agency. According to Olukoyede, the ongoing restructuring is meant to reposition and strengthen the EFCC and enable it to deliver optimally on its assigned mandate. The anti-graft agency head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, announced the new changes in a statement on Saturday. In restructuring and repositioning the EFCC, Olukoyede upgraded all the zonal commands of the commission to the status of departments, with each of them headed by a director. Also, a new department has also been created in the executive chairman's office, and it is headed by former Makurdi, zonal commander of the Friday Ebelo, who also doubles as director and coordinator, special duties of the corporate headquarters of the Commission. In addition to that, the former Department of Internal Affairs has been renamed Department of Ethics and Integrity, and minor reshuffling effected in some departments of the headquarters. The American International School, Abuja, has paid the sum of $760,910 to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, as refund for an advanced school fees paid to the school by former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello for his children. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale confirmed this on Saturday. In an October 24-22 letter, the school had asked the anti-graft agency to provide its authentic banking details for the refund to be paid as part of investigation into the alleged money laundering activities by the Bello family. The sum of $845,852 was said to be paid to the school between September 2021 and October 2022. The school said it deducted the educational services rendered between the period, with the remaining amount being $760,910. The FCC is prosecuting Bello on 19 counts bordering on alleged money laundering, breach of trust, and misappropriation of funds to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. In Oyo State, local government elections have been concluded across the 33 councils of the state. Initial setbacks such as late arrival of logistics and personnel did not mar the elections as the poll went ahead, albeit with a not too encouraging turnout.
It was the much anticipated local government election to choose representatives for leadership positions at the grassroots in Oyo State. Prospective voters had turned out as earlier as 8 a.m. to cast their ballots, but many were disappointed as materials and electoral officials were yet to arrive, raising serious concerns as to the credibility of the polls.
The thing I observe is that material came late a little bit, like an hour ago. So, but the situation is calm. Everything goes the way it should.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde was also present at his Abayomi Ward 11 polling unit 1 along Iwo Road to participate in the election. He described the polls as credible.
Accept the outcome, and then if you see anything untoward, as far as this exercise is concerned, please bring it up to the authorities and they will deal with it.
It is, however, a direct opposite for members of the African Action Congress, whose leadership says the election was characterized by voters' oppression and intimidation. They called for a total cancellation of the exercise.
There was no election. What happened today is, broad daylight fraud. That was what happened in Oyo State. So the few polling units where elections held, like I said earlier, were marked with different voter suppression, voters intimidation, rigging, massive rigging. I've not seen this kind of rigging in a very long time.
Not to belabor the issues, we want to state categorically clear that we would not accept this electoral heist, that we will fight it. We will fight them both legally, and we will fight them on the streets because we are a fighting party.
We are the party that people are expecting, because our governor have done a lot for the people, and this is a payback period for the governor, for people to pay back to the governor. He has done a lot to the people of this state, and people still appreciate him. I want to believe that the people expectant is that at the end of this exercise today, the PDP candidate are going to carry the day.
It's peaceful, it's credible, the process is clean, so I'm fine with the process.
Local government elections were last conducted in 2021, with results from the 33 council districts gradually trickling in. It is expected that the Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission would live up to its mandate and ensure that the will of Oyo voters would ultimately reflect in the outcome of the election.
In Imo State, following the announcement by MultiChoice Nigeria of an upward review in the prices of packages for both DSTV and GoTV bouquets, Nigerians have been expressing dissatisfaction with the development. Now, according to residents in the state who spoke to Trust TV, the move marks of insensitivity at a time Nigerians are grappling with a biting economy occasioned by subsidy removal. Ajibade Awofeso tells us more.
From all indications, the increment is not going down well with the masses, who are not finding MultiChoice Nigeria's decision to increase price of DSTV and GoTV subscription funny. They are saying the company, having operated in Nigeria for this long without any hitch, should empathize with the people of the country rather than implementing policies that will further make life tougher for the masses.
In fact, I don't even know what to say about this because, one, let's just say we don't have any challenge with DSTV, that's the problem. If we have other networks, like we have someone what they call Metro TV now, that one at least they are trying to meet up to that DSTV too. In fact, we just want DSTV to go. StarTime, the problem we're having in StarTime, people like football like me. I love watching football. StarTime don't give us something like that. Just DSTV.
Yeah, and I got a text message from them and it increased to 15,000, and I was totally disappointed because I also have friends in other parts of Africa, and they always tell me that the subscription there is quite cheaper than what they have here. So I don't know, I've told my family that once this one ends, I'm not subscribing again.
For others, the epileptic nature of the electricity supply is not encouraging enough to make them subscribe to the old prices, let alone the new ones. Already, some have started seeking alternatives that are more cost-effective.
For about 3 months, I have not even subscribed.
Why?
They have called me, asking me for a reason why I have not been subscribed. I told them I can't subscribe. I don't have electricity. I can only provide a few hours of electricity for myself from my generator within a week, and that period is too short for me to spend the kind of money I spend on subscription.
That's because let me just say our government is somehow, they are the cause of all this. You don't tell me that when this thing is happening, they are not saying anything about it. That's the reason why it's keep on going on. So, I don't know.
With the announcement of the increments, lots of Nigerians, including the popular clergy of Omega Power Ministry, OPM, Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere, have said that they will no longer renew their DSTV nor GoTV subscription once the current one expires. According to the MultiChoice Nigeria, the latest price review will take effect from Wednesday, May 1st. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
We'll go back to Katsina State, where sitting at the House of Assembly was this Thursday halted for a while to allow the state's Children's Parliament hold plenary. The plenary session of the Katsina State Children's Parliament was presided over by the Speaker, Fadila Sani, where the members advocated for several issues around their welfare, education, health, security, amongst others. Abdullah Yamadi tells us more.
The Children's Parliament plenary session, which witnessed swearing in of 2 new members, went further to present a motion calling on the state government to hasten efforts in implementing child protection law. The young lawmakers argued that when child protection law is fully implemented and enforced, issues of child abuse such as rape, trafficking, and child labor could be eradicated.
Call on the state government to facilitate the implementation of the child protection law in Katsina State. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Member representing the Alba constituency.
Those supposed to say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Similarly, the Katsina State young parliamentarians deliberated exhaustively on the need for National Basic Education Certificate, inclusion of climate change education and library science education in the state schools curriculum. This will further boost and gear efforts towards reducing the effect of climate change in Katsina State, which has already started presenting itself in a bad way. The children parliamentarians cited as examples harsh weather conditions, droughts and flooding, which could be addressed if residents have the knowledge of climate change from primary school to tertiary levels.
This Honorable House will consider the need for National Basic Education Certificate examination as a compulsory examination for both government and private schools in the states. I so move, right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the House. The National Basic Education Certificate offers several advantages for both students and the educational system, include number 1, assessment of students' learning. Number 2, promotion to senior high school. Number 3, career opportunities. Number 4, skills development.
Urgently need to include the climate science education in the school curriculum in Katsina State. Those supposed to say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Other issues deliberated during the plenary are insecurity bedeviling some parts of Katsina State and how the scourge is affecting the education of their colleagues in the frontline local governments. While calling on the state government to do more in tackling insecurity, which has forced many children out of school, they asked Governor Radda to persuade President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to deploy more security operatives in Katsina State. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
There you have it. Leaders of tomorrow getting ready for their future. And now we go to Adamawa State, where its governor, Ahmadu Fintiri, has reiterated his administration's commitment to the development and progress of the state's civil service. Governor Fintiri, who was represented by his deputy Kaleptwa Faruta, stated this during a lecture with the theme, Identity, Diversity and Solidarity, a case for national praxis in Yola. Salis Lawan reports that the public lecture was organized to celebrate the 60th birthday of the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Edgar Amos, as he formally retires from civil service.
It is gathering of like minds to celebrate an individual at heart of government through public discourse. During the event, Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri described the Chief of Staff, Dr. Edgar Amos, as a fountain of knowledge, whose contributions to the development of the civil service, society and knowledge can never be overemphasized.
Dr. Edgar has proven that he can be trusted by delivering the target he is given. And I think that is why he's moving steadily from where he is to where God has brought him today. So congratulations, Dr. Edgar Sunday. All we can wish you as a government and as a people is good health, that you continue to deliver on your targets as the Chief of Staff to the state government of Adamawa State and to His Excellency, that you continue to be the dependable ally that he needs and that all of us need at this time.
In his presentation, keynote speaker of the event, Professor Umar Pate, also made glowing tributes on the celebrant, describing him as a highly rated son of the state on account of his accomplishments.
Today, we live in an overheated world characterized by tensions, changes, and challenges. Nigeria is not spared from the global overheat. The country is in tension. The nation is battling with internal and external tensions caused by the evolving forces of globalization, poverty, and other transitory systemic and structural influences. As a consequence, the country has become a battleground not only for ideas, but for destructive forces of insurgency and terrorism. upsurge of ethnic nationalism, religious fundamentalism, widespread conflicts, damaging corruption, and visible frustration and desperation in the human condition.
Thanking the people of Adamawa and the government, the celebrant promised to do more to justify confidence reposed in him.
I want to also thank all of you who have made today a reality. I want to especially register my gratitude to the chairman of the occasion, who has had to return from Abuja specifically for this occasion. I want to thank Her Excellency, other distinguished personalities that are here. I want to thank you most profoundly and to say, may we have reasons to also celebrate others.
In separate remarks, the chairman of the occasion and Nigeria's immediate past secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, described Sunday as a goal-getter, a reliable ally, and a patriotic son of Adamawa State. Silas Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
A Second Republic lawmaker and veteran journalist, Sidi Ali, died on Thursday evening at the age of 86 in Kano State. The other statesman was also the father of the Central Bank of Nigeria's acting director, Corporate Communications Department. Hakama Sidi Ali was devoted to the service of the nation, particularly in the realm of public information. Ali served at the Nigerian International Press Center, the Ministry of Information, and the National Broadcasting Commission. During one of his few TV appearances, the revered journalist was a guest on Trust TV's Reminiscences, where he spoke on his role in forming the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN.
You see, I was always conscious that I swore with the Holy Quran. I was very conscious of that. Of course, in our case, I was a member of Public Account Committee. I was a Public Account Committee member. And most members, even at that time, when the people have complained, they compromise and collect money. The biggest thing I did, which if you read the recent statement of the National Accountant of Nigeria, what do you call them? ANAN. When you read what they said, we were 8 people. In fact, it was in my house, my room, that we planned how to create ANAN. Because ICANN was the only organization. So, in England, in Scotland, there are 6 national organizations, accountant organizations. Why here in Nigeria is only 1? So we championed the cause.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. More news when we return. Please just stay with us.
So did you manage to crack the Ajakuta problem?
That's a good question. I didn't. Nobody has so far done it. Ajakuta is still very much on the agenda of the present administration of President Tinubu.
I will not say those allegations are far-fetched. There are some element of truth in them. But then so long as we keep on accommodating those kind of characters in the judiciary, I think we are doing a lot of disservice to the nation. Under what circumstances did you leave that?
It's not easy to see the system very well if you are in it. But I felt that there were a lot of demands made on a company like Nitel. Some people felt that this country belonged to them. They will have to take whatever they want, or rather whatever they ask for.
First and foremost, people make the mistake of thinking that attitudes should change from National Orientation Agency. What National Orientation Agency does for government, there are so many unseen. They have special report. They have so many reports they send to government.
Should I keep quiet? And then we kept saying, can't we teach these people basic business, not hustling? Teach our people entrepreneurship, not hustling. Go to China, Guangzhou, different districts. They can turn fair. Am I saying what you don't know?
Yes, and do you know why?
because we are coming from a sort of a, despite the narrative, anti-corruption. But you know, the anti-corruption agencies went to sleep in the last 8 years.
However, if you are to go backwards and do a kind of audit, you will be shocked to find that the resources so far expended on the SDGs far outstrips the achievements face to face.
Most of the time when you are involved, it's difficult for you to draw back and have a holistic view. Because what? Sentiment would always come to play, because all of us would definitely, I had, like I told you yesterday, I was 100% convinced that you cannot say you are qualified without bringing any document.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. It's still News Hour on Trust TV. Now, it's time for business. Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, lent a fresh 3.8 trillion naira in ways and means to the federal government in the last 6 months of 2023. According to CBN data for the fourth quarter of 2023, the total figure rose to 8.2 trillion naira in December from 4.4 trillion naira at the end of June 2023. Total ways and means balances as of May 2023, when the Tinubu administration took over, was 26.95 trillion naira. However, the balances were securitized as included as part of the federal government's domestic debt profile. The balance at the end of June 2023 was 4.36 trillion naira, indicating that the prior month balances may have been moved to the Debt Management Office. However, from July 2023, the balances increased every month. First, to 4.5 trillion naira in July, then 5.1 trillion naira in August, crossing the 5.1 trillion naira mark for the first time. According to Sections 38 of the CBN Act 2007, the Apex Bank may grant temporary advances to the federal government about temporary deficiency of budget revenue at such rate of interest as the bank may determine. Still in business, foreign portfolio inflows into Nigeria's stock market, NGX, reached 93.37 billion naira in the first quarter of 2024. This figure represents a 415% increase compared to the same period in 2023. This significant rise is highlighted in the foreign portfolio investment data for the first quarter as published by the Research Department of the NGX. In dollar terms, the actual inflow was $70.1 million during the quarter, compared to $39.2 million in the same period of 2023. The NGX used an exchange rate of 1,330 naira to a dollar in the first quarter of 2024, a stark contrast to the 461.13 naira to a dollar rate used in the first quarter of 2023. On the foreign scene, 76 people in Kenya have lost their lives to floods triggered by torrential monsoon downpours since March. The government said on Saturday, warning residents to brace up for an heavier rainfall. Kenya and its East African neighbors have been battered by stronger than usual rain in recent weeks, compounded by the El Nino weather pattern. Flash floods have submerged roads and neighborhoods, leading to the displacement of more than 130,000 people across 24,000 households, many of them in the capital, Nairobi. Government spokesman Isaac Muare said Saturday. Muare said all 5 dams comprising the 7 Forks hydropower projects along the Tana River, Kenya's longest, were at total capacity. The monsoons have wreaked havoc across neighboring Tanzania as well, with at least 155 people killed in flooding and landslides. El Nino is a naturally occurring climate pattern typically associated with increased heat worldwide, leading to drought in some parts of the world and heavy rains elsewhere. The UN's World Meteorological Organization said in March the latest El Nino is one of the 5 strongest ever recorded. Still on the international scene, Sierra Leone's Minister of Energy resigned on Friday, according to the President's office, against the backdrop of recent interruptions to the country's electricity supply. The reasons for Alhaji Kanja Sese's resignation were not officially explained. The ministry has been placed under the direct supervision of President Julius Maada Bio, who will be assisted by 2 other officials, according to a press release from the presidency. Sese's resignation came hours after the government paid a total of $18.5 million to 2 power providers, Turkish Carpowership and Transco CLSG Group. Sierra Leone owed the 2 producers a total of $40 million. It was not immediately clear whether Sese's resignation was related to the payments. After 2 months of outages, power was restored in Freetown after the payments were announced. And it's time for sports with Adeni Ajishafe.
Multiple national para-badminton champion Eniola Bolaji have been ranked world number 7 in the women's SL3 World Para-Badminton ranking. Her performance at the Spanish Para-Badminton International Championship moved the Nigerian 3 places from number 10 to 7 with 39,550 points. The Kwara-born player overwhelmed world number 6 Oskana Skozina from Ukraine 2-0 to clinch gold medal in the women's SL3 at the Spanish Championship. Zanzibar, Tanzania had been selected as the host nation for 2024 CAF African School Football Championship Finals. The second season of Africa's largest youth football competition finals will be hosted at the Aman Stadium, Zanzibar, from 24th to 24th May 2024. CAF President Patrice Motsepe and African football legend will attend the finals that will feature winners from regional qualifiers. Over 800,000 young African boys and girls from 28,866 schools across 44 African nations are taking part in the second season of African Schools Football Championship. Top 3 teams will receive prize money courtesy of CAF's partnership with the Motsepe Foundation for the development of projects within the school. CAF African School Football Championship features under 15 boys and girls. And in tennis, world number 1 Iga Swiatek beat Romania's Sorana Cese 6-1, 6-1 to reach Madrid's Masters round of 16. The Polish top seed, a 3-time winner of the French Open, needed only 1 hour and 18 minutes to win a one-sided 12-round match on her favored surface. Swiatek will face Belarusian Victoria Azarenka or Spaniard's Sara Tormo next. And in football, Liverpool's hope for the Premier League title could be over as Miguel Antonio scored to rescue a point for West Ham at London Stadium. Jarrod Bowen opened scoring, converting Mohamed Kudus' cross as Liverpool showed little effort to reverse the loss against Everton in the midweek. And Robertson equalized when he scored from Luis Diaz's low pass into the penalty area, with Cody Gakpo's effort bouncing off before entering the net. Antonio's thumping header pulled the Hammers back on terms. Liverpool are third with 3 matches to go, 2 points behind leader Arsenal, who face Tottenham on Sunday, while Manchester City are second with 2 games in hand. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
Just before we go, here's a kicker. In a small town in northeastern Zimbabwe, the rise of a new generation of boxing champions is causing upsets. That's because heavyweight Anesu Mutsi is determined that there will be another boxing star in his family in the shape of his daughter, Candice.
Guns, 2 guns, move! I started training Candice last year, 2023 January. By then she was 5 years. So such pressure, great power, financial power.
My father's my coach. You can go and gym every day. You punch, you do press ups, you run. When I won, I was happy. I want to win again.
One of the major challenges Yatro Sangana life as a family, your mother is not supportive of the talent. First days it was more serious, but now that Candice is achieving and making things happen, Slightly, there's a change, but she's not yet supportive yet. But we are looking forward that in the near future, she will support the talent and realize the importance of Candice doing boxing. Move! Move! I don't blame her, I blame the community, I blame the society, I blame the background. But I'll teach her or I'll highlight the importance of boxing. Boxing is a good sport for your kid, for my kid, for the society.
I love boxing because this is my life. It makes me happy.
Push.
What a way to keep a legacy going. And that's out of our package of the News Hour tonight. For more news, programs and documentaries, please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.